I want to hear all about your mother and your father, the butcher, and what it's like working in a butcher shop and what the girls were like in New York. Relax.
Trust me, I'm trying.
This Canadian Screen Award winner stars as a strong-willed beauty with a troubled past in the searing period drama Indignation. Please welcome Toronto's own, welcome home, Sarah Gadon.
Thank you.
So lovely to see you here, and you did an incredible job in this movie.
Oh,
incredible.
thank you. Thanks.
It's based on a Philip Roth novel. Tell me a little bit about the movie itself for those who have not read the book itself. We know that it's you know, a young man goes to college and meets who would become the love of his life, but it's so much more than the typical boy meets girl, for sure.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's set in the 1950s, and it's about this young man, Marcus Mesner, who leaves his hometown and goes away to college, and through all of these new experiences that he has at university, he has this kind of unraveling, and it's all, you know, kind of fraught with tension and repression and all that stuff that you want to talk about in the morning.
Of course, right up early in the morning. Well, you play Olivia Hutton in the movie, and she's, you know, beautiful, and he says in control and all put together. But for you, what drew you to Olivia? Because you've said that she's one of the most complex characters you've ever played.
Well, one of the things that I loved is that she is this kind of, you know, 1950s icon. She's, you know, she's beautiful and she looks prim and proper, and everything kind of that she's dealing with underneath that fights against her exterior. So it was that tension that I was really drawn to. And I think it's that tension that makes her very complex.
Now, it was set in 1951, as you said. What was it like playing a character who had to apologize so much for being who she was in terms of being aggressive, whether it's sexually or, you know, just having to be shamed for doing things that any man wouldn't be?
Right. I mean, it was a different mindset, and it was something that I did a lot of research to get into that headspace. I read a lot of Sylvia Plath. James had recommended that I read the Plath journals, which was a really kind of helpful tool for me because it provided this kind of insight into a really kind of bright young woman who was bumping up against the ideologies of the time. So it was that was very, very helpful. But even though, you know, Olivia is very straightforward and Marcus is kind of shocked by her abrasive nature, I kind of love that about her. I love that, you know, she, you know, for all the kind of slut shaming that she receives in the film, she kind of waltzes right up to him in that scene in the library and kind of takes him head on, and you really are kind of impressed by her in that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. She wasn't going to let it go. She wanted to know what was happening.
She wasn't going to let that go.
Yeah.
She wasn't going to let that fly.
Exactly. I like that. Not going to let it fly, for sure. Even in the 50s, absolutely. And when it comes to preparing, you said you went through Sylvia Plath's journals, but the director, James, he actually had you copy some of her handwriting and study it as well for this one scene where you're writing a letter.
Well, James was really kind of, you know, taken with the notion that Philip Roth had created this character, Olivia Hutton, who was very inspired by Sylvia Plath, and so he wanted me to, in the scenes where I'm writing to Marcus, he wanted me to write, have the same handwriting as she had, and so I spent, you know, time tracing over her handwriting, and that was really fun. But it's all those little details that really helped you create another person and lose yourself in another character. So I mean, I think the devil is in the details.
Absolutely, and you see it there as well, right on screen. And for you, Toronto's girl, really, welcome home. You're here all the time, but you do travel a lot. What's it like to return home back to Toronto where you grew up?
I love it. I mean, I grew up watching breakfast television, so I mean, it's an honor and a delight to be here, and it's really exciting. And I know my mom and dad are watching. Hi, Mom and Dad, and that's great. And so it's just, it feels like home. There's nothing better than feeling like you're home.
Okay, good. Well, good luck with Indignation. It was an awesome movie. You did a great job as Olivia. Thank you so much for stopping by here as well. Indignation is in theaters August 5th. You can head to breakfasttelevision.ca for more information. We'll send it up to Kevin.
Oh, you know, Sarah, I've got a tear in my eye. Thank you so much. Of course, I started when I was 10 years old, so you and I are about the same age.
I've been watching you since I was 10 years old.
Oh, there goes my tear.